Mr. Ugolini, welcome and thank you for being here with us. You are the father of a very ambitious project called Eco Area Better Living. This project has got the goal of giving all the companies which work in the field of the renewable energies to have the great opportunity to show the technology in this area, the first actually in Italy. How and when did you come to this?
I live in Germany since 12 years, and in this country I have observed a great respect for the environment. The first thing that struck me back then was the obsession that each German people had for the separate collection of the waste material, organic, plastic, paper, and glass. But even for the glass, you had different containers for different colors, the transparent, the brown, and the green. At the same time, I started to notice strange panels in the roof of the houses. Of course, they were solar panels and photovoltaic modules. Then I started to wonder why, in a country like Italy, there was no interest for solar, in spite of the fact that Italy has much more sun-shining days than Germany. After a short investigation, I realized that the investment must be supported by some kind of incentives, which in Germany were already in place and organized by an agency that gave clear instructions and suggestions. Of course, in Italy, it took many years before an acceptable system started to work. In fact, I can say that only in the last years we have seen some progress. But of course, there is still a lot to do before we catch up with Germany, Austria, or even Spain. Now is the time to stop talking and start doing something about it. The idea, the project of Eco Area Better Living is born out of necessity. I believe that people deserve clear answers from honest, reliable experts in the field of renewable energy and energy efficiency. The media are starting to inform the public, but it's not enough. People get the most out of information when they talk with each other, when they interact in person. In addition, if you can show the product or the system as you explain it, then your contact will be more likely to retain and remember your message. What I just described happens at fairs, exhibitions, shows, and expos. I am part of a group that organizes exhibitions all over the world. We have experience in this field. We know deeply how it works and how it functions. Eco Area is in fact a kind of exhibition where spaces can be rented, but instead of the typical 3-4 days, a company can rent it for several months. And if they are satisfied with the results, they can renew it.
Because of your work, I know that you travel all over the world, so you have always the opportunity to meet all kinds of people. As you very well know now, the world is facing maybe the most difficult challenge to save itself from destruction. And in the same time, we are facing a serious lack of fossil energies. What kind of advice would you give to the governors of the earth to avoid such a terrible prospect?
Your question is very complex. One could talk for hours and hours, perhaps days, about this subject. All kinds of research, articles, books are available on this subject. Yet, sadly, there is still a lot of confusion. Perhaps the confusion derives from the fact that different economic interests are so powerful that can influence public opinion and even governments all over the world. Therefore, the truth and evidence can be distorted and manipulated. For example, if you speak with people from academics or the scientific world, they will confirm that global warming is very real and accelerating very rapidly. The reasons are known. Europe, Japan, and North America are responsible for most of the CO2 emission. But recently, China and India have joined the party. In order to sustain their growing economies, we need a great deal of energy, raw materials, food, water, etc. It is very clear that if we continue to grow at this pace, we will need to rethink our lifestyles. So, to go back to your question, what kind of advice would I give to the governors of the world? It is very simple.